Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm actually really excited for today's video. It started off being something very different. It was supposed to start off being products that I've used for years, but as I was making the list, most of them I talked about extensively in my last empties video, so I will link that down below for you to check out if you want to know about products that I've used for years. And the other products that I'd used for years, I went to check on them to like look for links and stuff, and they're discontinued. I thought it would be fun. I don't know how popular this video is going to be, but that's okay. I think it's going to be really fun. I figured it would be a fun idea to talk about products that I used to love and repurchase over and over again that have been discontinued for one reason or another. A couple of them I have on hand, others I just have pictures of because I eventually ran out of them and then they were discontinued. So this is going to be in no particular order. The first one is, I'll pop in pictures on the side over here just because I want you to be able to see what they look like. I'm sure I can still find pictures of all of them. The first one is the Soap and Glory Sugar Crush body wash. I freaking loved this stuff. I cannot tell you how many times I repurchased it over a couple of years. I loved the smell of it. It was very it smelled like Sprite to me. It was very citrusy, but sweet. I love that body wash for the morning time because I felt like it really helped to wake me up. So whenever I would take showers in the morning, I'm normally a night shower person, but when I would take showers in the morning, I would always use that specific body wash. I think that you can still get this in other countries, but I know you can't get it in the US anymore. So I have bought it on Amazon. Sellers will just have extra products sometimes and still sell them on Amazon. So I have gotten it once or twice from there, but I just have given up at this point because then they charge you an arm and a leg because you can't get it anymore. Some of these I know you can also get on eBay. So if you're super interested, you probably can still get your hands on some of these, but I think for the most part, they've been discontinued. So this next product is the Glysal 10-2 cleanser. Now, this is from Replenix. It's basically supposed to be helping with acne. I talked about this in that empties video, but when I went to link it in that video, they have discontinued the 10-2 and they only have the 5-2, so it's not as strong. I'm still going to keep using the 5-2 because I've used that one interchangeably with the 10-2 over the years, just depending on how bad my acne is doing. But yeah, it's really sad that the 10-2 no longer exists. However, I do believe you can get them in pads that you can wipe on your face. I wouldn't want to do that just because I don't want to waste. I'll just use the 5-2, but you still can get it in some kind of form, but it's not that same 10-2 cleanser that I've known and loved. Okay, this next one. I'm a really sentimental person, you guys. Weirdly sentimental about makeup and lifestyle and beauty products. Don't ask me why. This next one is the Olay Sea Kelp body wash. This has been harder and harder to find. I believe it is now fully discontinued. Olay changed their packaging of their body washes and you couldn't find this. And then I randomly found it in new packaging. So I was like, oh, maybe they haven't discontinued it. Now I can't find it anywhere. So I think it's been totally discontinued. However, there is a scent, and I can't remember what it is, but I'll pop it in here somewhere, that smells almost exactly the same. So you can still get some kind of version of this. The reason why I'm strangely sentimental about this is around the time when my fiance and I first started dating as boyfriend and girlfriend. We were just dating for a while and then decided to commit to each other. And around that same time, somebody that he knew, one of his coworkers, was moving away and gave him a bunch of bath products that she had in her shower. And so he gave this to me. And for some reason, the smell of that just reminds me of that time and it makes me so happy. Just beginnings of our relationship and all that. So just weirdly sentimental. But I am disappointed you can't get that same scent and same formula, but you can find something similar, so I'll link that. Okay, this next one. You have to stay with me here because I'm gonna feel you start to be like, Haley, you could find this at Walmart, and it was one of their body sprays. They still have other ones, but they don't have this scent anymore. It's the Sexiest Fantasies Tempt Me Sweetly scent. Something about that, it smelled so good. I was so embarrassed by the name of it and the packaging, but I loved it. And it was so funny because it was sweet and it was very youthful. So, it's probably not something I would use necessarily now. That went out of stock a couple of years ago now, pre-pandemic. I went on eBay because I was still using it at the time. I went on eBay and I found a 3-pack of it that I'm still sometimes using to this day. It's not like my everyday scent like it was at the time, but I always got compliments on it too. And I was just like, body spray from Walmart. But yeah, it was just very sweet. It had like a sweet and fruity kind of smell at the same time. Those tend to be my favorite scents. So that was another one that I repurchased so many times and then eventually bought that 3-pack that I'm still kind of working on. So, Too Faced Peach Perfect Foundation. This is one, I believe you can still find some shades on Too Faced website, and you can still find some shades on Sephora, I think, but they're definitely letting that one completely go out of stock to discontinue it, for sure. Like, they haven't restocked any shades in like a year. So I think you can find some of the deeper shades, but the lighter shades, like, I don't even remember what shade mine was. You really can't find those anymore. And what I really liked about that foundation was the scent of it, the peach scent, was not overpowering. I mean, I don't love fragrance in my foundations, but that one didn't bother me that much. It was not the same smell as the Sweet Peach palette. It was a different kind of artificial peach smell, but I did really like the foundation. It was very transfer proof. It lasted really well on my skin throughout the day. I used it a lot when we were first having to wear masks while teaching because my makeup didn't look horrible at the end of the day using that foundation. And they started having a sale on it because they were starting to discontinue it. So I bought a bunch and I used most of them up before I finally had to get rid of the ones that were expired. I really liked that one. I think they got rid of it because they came out with the Too Faced Born This Way matte, and it's a similar formula. I wouldn't say it's exactly the same. It's not as, I don't want to say tacky, but it was a very thick formula, the Sweet Peach palette was. And the Born This Way is not as thick, but the finish of it is very, very similar. It doesn't hold up as well. It's not transfer proof. The look of it on your skin once you have all your makeup on is very similar. So I think that might have been why they did away with it. I don't know for sure. Hoping they never get rid of the Sweet Peach palette because I have actually repurchased that one. That is my favorite palette of all time. We have another Too Faced product. In my recommendations video for Sephora, you might have caught a mistake I made where I said that there are 3 powders that I was recommending. And that's because originally there were 3 powders in that video, but I had to take out one of them because when I went to link it, I found out it was discontinued. So the Too Faced Born This Way powder, their ethereal setting powder. Yes. Okay.
Hi vlog. Bye vlog.
It's not a vlog.
Bye video.
Love you.
You too.
So the Born This Way ethereal setting powder was beautiful. It had a gorgeous glow. It set the face really well. And it was one of 3 that I would just cycle through. When I used up one, I'd go to the next one and so on and so forth. It wasn't that long ago that I bought that powder. I think it was in the past year. But when I went to link it in that video, it is gone off of Sephora's website and it's gone off of Too Faced website. So they've discontinued it. I just totally spaced about changing the video and not saying that I had 3 powders for you. So if you caught that, you get a prize. You get a metaphorical prize. The next one breaks my heart. Makeup Geek Matte Matrix Palette. I have it right here. I freaking love this palette. I actually use this palette all the time. You wouldn't believe it because it doesn't look like I've made a dent. The pans are huge in this. So it would take me forever to use these up. I especially love the taupey column. And then the lighter white pinky nude shades. I freaking love those. These shades with a red lip are so pretty. These are so creamy. They blend beautifully. I was so sad when I saw that they were going out of business because this is a palette that I've really, really enjoyed. I actually pre-ordered it before the pandemic hit. And then because of the pandemic, it took me a really long time to get this palette because it, they had to shut down for a while and everything, but I did get it and I'm so thankful that I did because I love this palette. If you have your hands on any of these, you'll totally understand. This leads me to another eyeshadow palette because it's right next to it. I think we can all RIP this one. The Tati Beauty Textured Neutrals Volume 1 palette. I love this palette. I actually haven't had this palette very long. I've had it less than a year. I asked for it from my mom for my birthday last year. I managed to get it. Gosh, the hype around these is so real. It was also just so creative. There were lots of videos about this palette when it first came out, talking about how creative it is because you have your different shades here with all the different textures. So you have a matte shade, a sequin shade, a metallic shade, and a glitter shade. All of them are amazing. The sequin shade is really rare to me because it's like almost like a semi-matte. And so I really actually like to use these on the waterline, the lower waterline, because they like attract to your eyes without being overly glittery. The metallics are amazing. The glitters are amazing. I have no bad things to say about this palette, and I'm so thankful that I picked it up before it totally was discontinued. Tati, you made an amazing palette, and I think you know that. We're so happy for you in Texas, though. I love watching those vlogs. This next one, I could cry, you guys. I'm not even joking. It's the NYX matte liquid liner. If you follow me on Instagram, I have talked the heck out of this thing and how it's been discontinued and how devastated I am. This was my favorite liquid liner. It had all of my qualifications for a liquid liner. Clearly, I love liquid liner. It has a brush tip that is very fine. The formula is very matte. It would actually stay on all day long. Even if I was wearing a full-on metallic look like I am now, at the end of the day, it would still be on. And for some reason, they discontinued it, and I'm so devastated. I've been looking for a replacement. So far, I have found more of combinations that I can get a similar effect to this, but I haven't found just one product. I do have a video coming reviewing all of the liquid liners that I've tried to replace this one, but I can give it away now. I have not found anything that's the same as this product, and I'm really sad that they got rid of it. It really, I can't even tell you how many times I repurchased this thing. I loved it. And I'm mad because they still have their vinyl liquid liner. I'm like, why? Why this one? Nobody was buying it? I don't get that. This next one is more of a lifestyle product, and you guys are gonna laugh at me. So it's the L'Oreal Air Dry It Mousse. I just love the smell of that stuff. I've looked for it and I can't seem to find it anywhere. So I'm about 99% sure it was discontinued, but it smelled really good. And I liked that it was specifically for air dried hair because more than anything, I air dry my hair. So I would put that in while it was air drying, and I just felt like it dried in a way that looked a lot prettier. And then what I would do is if my hair was already dry and it was looking kind of weird from sleeping, I would run my hands over water and then run them through my hair. And then I would put that on over it, and it would really help make my hair look a lot more just presentable and pretty. So I'm sad about that one. And the next one is another hair product. It's the Herbal Essences White Grapefruit Dry Shampoo. This had such bad reviews online unless the person said that they had fine hair. So this is what's so funny about this product. I have very fine hair. I have a lot of it, but it's very fine. And so the funny thing is that I thought it did a great job. And it also added a lot of volume because you know that if you have fine hair, volume's an issue. So I loved it because I felt it was decent at controlling my oil, but it was great at volumizing, and the smell of it is amazing. I still saw it on Herbal Essences website. Not that you could buy it, but they had the product there with a description, and then I looked on a ton of websites and I can't find it. So I'm pretty sure it's either discontinued or it's on its way out. Disappointing. There are other dry shampoos. I got a new one from Ava NYC that I'm really liking, but it was just that scent and the volumizing. I'm like, oh, I'm devastated. This next one is an OG YouTube favorite, and I know that because I've been watching YouTube not for that long for beauty content. I would say I started really heavily watching YouTube videos for beauty content in about 2017, which I guess that's like 4 years now. The Physicians Formula Shimmer Strips / Shimmer Brick, the square one. So they do have different color stories of rectangular shimmer strips now, but that's not what I'm talking about. I think they're trying to like mimic that, but it's not the same thing. It's a square. There's pinks in there, whites in there, browns, and it was such a beautiful highlight. I would use the lighter shade. Oh my gosh, it was so pretty. You could also use it as eyeshadow. I loved that, and at one time that was like a holy grail of mine, and I feel so upset that I ever decluttered it because I think I just figured, oh, you know, this is getting old and expired, I'll just buy a new one. And I was so sad. And actually, I'm mad at myself because I saw it. I saw one a couple of months ago in Target, and I didn't buy it because when I saw it, I thought, oh, I thought they probably discontinued that. I guess they haven't, so I can buy it later. Yeah, it's discontinued now. If you go on Physicians Formula's website, it's totally out of stock. You can't find it in stock anywhere on any websites, but I really, really loved that. And I'm sad because it was a beautiful highlight. And my last one one is a tool. I really loved the Clarisonic. I was really sad when they went out of business. I had the one for sensitive skin and I thought it did a great job. However, I love my Foreo probably 10 times more than I ever loved my Clarisonics. In that way, it kind of worked out. But I did love the Clarisonic. It was just a bummer that you paid so much money for it and then you had to replace the brush heads like every 3 months. I can see why it didn't last, especially with things like the Foreo coming out that you never have to replace. But I did really like that and I felt it was worth mentioning in this video. That is everything, all my products that I wish I could still purchase that are totally discontinued. If you enjoyed this video, I hope that you'll subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, I hope that you will hit the notification bell so you get notifications when I post new videos. And I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Love you guys. Bye.